4th of July, and this is the coal cellar. It's in the process of getting a new fan. I had to reinstall the ceiling tile so it could be dark enough to load the camera. Only 3 feet were used, but I have to load it with the rest of the film so I can make a long shot. I grabbed as many of the chemicals as I recognized the names and put them on the board again, and then I went to look for bottles. I found one for ECN2, and I found bleach, fixer, and a couple empties. I put a piece of white tape on them, and I made pre-bath and stop bath. The stop bath used 48% sulfuric acid, but twice as much. Not 10 milliliters, but 20 milliliters. It's 20 milliliters of 48% in 1 liter of water. Now, if it were 96%, then I'd use 10. I have a quart of that coming. So I have one more bottle to mix. So I need the heater stirring. I have to get a extension cord because I don't have a plug over here. I'm going to ask the electrician to put one in when he comes to do the ceiling fan. The chemicals from the shelf were put into boxes and carried out here to the cellar. This time, instead of an extension cord, I reset the table, and I'll use the cord from the device. It'll reach the plug on the wall over there. The first thing was water, that's easy. But then there's anti-calcium. Now, previously I had used Gilcon's dispersing agent, Gilson. I just used a little bit of it. It's supposed to be like Calgon, which maybe not even that much is what I used. Next is sodium sulfite, 2 grams per liter. Then we have sodium bromide, 1.2 grams. CD3, 4 grams. It's a lot easier to measure the larger amounts. Sodium carbonate, 25.6 grams. Yes, it's possible to mix that much, that accurately. I hold the spoon over top and then I tap it very gently. And this is so granulated that it just goes right in. Next is sodium bicarbonate. .7 grams. It was 2.7 a second ago. Now, I do not have Kodak anti-fog, but I have some by another manufacturer, so I'll put 5 milliliters in. So this is by Bellini. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but there it is on the second line, anti-fog. I got this from a 100-year-old lady, widow, whose husband was a photographer, and she was getting rid of all this stuff. He made this himself. I guess he broke it and then he smoothed it off. But 5 milliliters is the first line. I hope it works. Well, that got a little bit too hot, but it all dissolved. Everything's dissolved. So now we'll put it into the bottle with a funnel and add some water to make it 1 liter first, and then that'll cool it off. Then I'll put it in the bottle and that'll cool it off. And then we'll move on to the next step. But there's a shot of the chemicals used in this batch. They're all in order from left to right. When I mixed the pre-bath, I stirred it in the 1 liter bottle with room temperature water. And I stirred and stirred and stirred so I couldn't do it anymore, and there was a little bit of sludge left. So I rinsed it with the pour back into the bottle and I left it. So I'm setting the bottle on the heating pad, which was quite hot. I'm warming up the pre-bath with the residual heat in the hopes of shaking the bottle and dissolving the remaining chemicals in there. In any event, when I go to develop the film and I warm this up between 80 to 100 degrees, it'll get dissolved. And I'm only going to use 333 milliliters or 400. I don't know if I'll save it or not. Probably will, because they say to filter the pre-bath after 1 year, so they keep it. Labs don't throw it away. I need to mix some PhotoFlow. This is full strength. I put 1 capful in a 1 liter bottle, and I fill that with water. And that's what I use 1 capful of in a liter when I use PhotoFlow. Okay, here we go. The pre-bath is in this bottle. Yeah, I have to review the instructions. The teapot was over 140 degrees, so I turned the dial down a lot lower. I don't know what it is now, but I put the pre-bath just under 400 milliliters in the beaker, and then I put that in the measuring cup and I poured the hot water around it. So now the temperature is over 80 and going up. I have to look at the instructions to see how hot it's supposed to be. Pre-bath, 80 degrees. That's all. For 10 seconds. So it'll be easy to cool off the pre-bath to 80, but then the wash water is 80 to 100. So I could add cold water to this and I'll have plenty to wash with. This is just a test, but I want to be as exact as possible. So I'll let this cool off and I'll put it 10 seconds in the can. I'll just shake it a little bit and I'll pour it in the bottle and then I'll start the rinsing. from 80 to 100. I could dump the teapot into this tub and that will probably warm it up enough. This was tap water and it's 75 or 74. Teapot water was put into the Igloo tub. The can is sitting on a 35 millimeter reel, and I'm pre-washing before I pre-bath. So the water's 80. I filled the can, I gave it 10 agitations. I'll dump it down the drain. I'll have a look at it first, see if any color comes out. But what I'm doing is I'm wetting the emulsion and making it 80 degrees. Then the pre-bath will go in for 10 seconds and then go into the jug, and then I'll use the water that's in the tub. Maybe I'll warm it up some and I'll use that to wash it out with. Working in the summer is very different than working in the winter. I've never soaked the film before developing it before. This will be the first time. I have pre-washed other films before I started developing. Some people do it all the time. I never did, but this is pre-bath. Maybe by making it wet, it'll make the pre-bath come off better. Maybe by making the film wet, the anti-halation layer will become softer and will react more favorably with the pre-bath caustic chemicals, and it will come off more completely. Much to my surprise, absolutely no remjet came off. The water might have become a little pink once. I washed in 100 degrees. So I put the remjet back in for 50 seconds and agitated. Dumped it out. No remjet. Then I washed it, another 6 times or so. Now I'm tired of washing it. I want to move on to developing. I think the water must have soaked into the remjet and prevented the remover from hitting it. So I'll try more remjet at the end after fixing to see if it'll come off. Kodak had made the remjet go away on the new films, but I thought it was a different number. I didn't think it was 7219 500T. The developer got up to 106, and I made the water in the tray 106, and then I had been soaking this in 100 degrees. So I poured the developer in here, and now I'm developing it for 4 minutes, not 3 minutes, because I want a contrasting negative for printing, not for scanning. Okay, there it is. I bleached it 3 minutes. It was rinsed a lot. I fixed it for 6 minutes in cooler water, slightly. The bleach was washed out 3 or 4 times. The fix was washed, and then I washed it at the end to wash the fixer out and put PhotoFlow. It's orange, and it doesn't have any remjet. There wasn't anything to wipe off. The pictures aren't real strong, even though I developed them for 4 minutes. Oh, they're pretty strong. Yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted this color leader. And I wanted stronger pictures, so they're not too strong. So I developed it 4 minutes, not 3 minutes. There wasn't any remjet. Duh. Maybe you don't even need that step anymore.